Good day, Miss Eva. We, the mathematics majors, are prepared and ready to present to you about our chosen topic, which is the plastic pollution. Our report must be different from others, but we will ensure that at the end of our presentation, you will get a more knowledge about using plastics. What is plastic pollution? So plastic pollution, it is the accumulation of plastic objects and particles in Earth's environment that adversely affects humans, wildlife, and their habitat. So plastic, ito yung nagkakalat sa ating environment and nakakapekto ito sa ating mga tao, sa wildlife or animals at sa mga pinamamahayan nila. So I will not explain it furthermore since alam naman na natin kung ano yung epekto ng plastic sa ating environment. Plastics are one of the major causes of pollution which causes harm and negative effects to the environment. Millions of people's livelihoods, food production, and health can be negatively impacted by plastic pollution in different ways. So as you see to our slide, we highlight the word million and different ways. So why? Bakit? Because think of it, in a single plastic, millions will be affected, and in only one single plastic, it can affect us in many different ways. So how plastic can affect the environment in different ways? So first, plastic pollution in land. Chlorinated plastic can release harmful chemicals into the surrounding soil. So, pwede itong humalo sa lupa, given that hindi ito madaling ma-decompose is nagre-release din sila ng mga chemicals na maaari makapekto sa kalusugan ng lupa at yung mga groundwater o yung tubig sa ilalim ng lupa. So next is plastic pollution in water. Degrading the water quality with toxic compounds and end up harming human and animal health. So same effect within the water. So nagre-release rin ito ng mga harmful chemicals pero hindi lang tubig. Naapektuhan din nito ang mga water animals na naninirahan sa tubig kasi maaari nilang mainom or makain ang mga chemicals or yung plastic mismo. So next is plastic pollution in air. So the burning of plastics releases toxic gases. So it can be treated or harmful to us, to vegetation, human health, and animal health. So kapag nagsusunog tayo, 'di ba, meron yung mga mababahong amoy ng usok mula sa plastic na nasusunog. So nakakapektuhan ito yung mga baga natin, lalo na sa mga may sakit sa lungs, parang ano. So next is plastic pollution to animals. So wildlife can easily get trapped and entangled in plastic and they also lost their natural habitat. So kung makikita natin dyan sa picture, ayan, may na-trap na animals. Sa second picture, yung pagka-lost ng habitat kasi ginagawang basurahan. And yung worst is yung nagiging dahilan ng pagkamatay nila. The majority of plastic pollution is caused by littering. So what is littering? Littering, ito yung pagtapon ng basura sa hindi tamang basurahan. So we buy or use disposable plastic items and do not dispose of them properly. So yung mga binibili natin mga bottles, yung mga single-use plastic, yung mga balat ng chichirya, plastic ng chichirya is tinatapon lang natin kung saan-saan. In a research entitled Plastic Water Bottle Pollution, Where Do All Bottles End Up? So it said that 80% of plastic water bottles end up in landfills. So ang dami, 80% ng basura sa landfills is puro bottles. So ang dami nun, di ba? So sabi dito, sabi ni Kongor Bat Erdin noong 2020, it would take about 1,000 years for a plastic bottle to decompose, and in the meantime, plastic pollutes its surrounding environment. So ang tagal. So maaabutan pa yan ng apo mo, parang ganon. So sa sobrang tagal ng decompose ng isang plastic. So what is our greatest what if? As rapidly increasing production of plastic bottles around the world, it is very difficult to eliminate using plastic. So ang daming ang bilis ng production ng plastic dito sa mundo, di ba? So hindi natin maikakaila na ang daming plastic talaga. So for us to help the environment reduce plastic pollution, what if we reuse it and recycle it in a good way that we can benefit too? So in the last 3 years, we experienced the pandemic and all of us are in our houses because it is very dangerous and restricted to get out. So lot of us are attracted to planting and growing plants in our houses, but there are so many problems like lack of equipment and space. Used plastic bottles are one of the most flexible plastic products to reuse and recycle to resolve their problem. So let us present to you what are the possible ways to recycle and reuse plastic bottles to our garden.
Thank you, Artson, for that wonderful presentation. I am Evelyn Garcia. Good day to everyone. I am here for the vertical garden. I know that it's not new to us, but I noticed that very few of us doing this kind of project. This is the reason why I still want to promote this vertical garden to our community, and it's better if we will start at home because big part of the plastic bottles thrown everywhere is coming from households. Producing and consuming products using plastic bottles will surely help to kill the beautiful environment given to us, but by making vegetable garden made up of plastic bottles help lessen the amount of garbage thrown everywhere. It is also beneficial to us. It can generate income by simply planting vegetables, sell and save money for it. It's also save space if you will hang it on the wall and you can have a vegetable to serve on your table. If we will not do it now, when? We cannot prevent big companies to produce plastic bottles and other plastic bags, but we as a human can do something to make our environment clean and healthy. Let's help everyone. Let's unite for the benefit of everybody and for the clean environment we are living in. Thank you and good day.
Bottle sprinkler reduce the amount of waste and reduce the negative impacts of waste material on human health. In terms of waste management, bottle sprinklers reduce waste, especially the plastic bottle are generally found in the trash. Waste can be more productive and convenient. In terms of water conservation, bottle sprinklers minimize the amount of sprinkled water when watering plants. In terms of eco-friendliness, bottle sprinklers made our surroundings presentable to look at when recycled materials are being used. It has been a huge issue regarding plastic contamination. It can destroy the lives of animals, especially those in oceans. Flooded bottles that have been thrown in the oceans may kill and contaminate fish. If we eat contaminated fish, then we will also become contaminated. A single bottle will take years to break down into pieces. Hence, instead of throwing it, people must work together to develop a process and to recycle plastic bottles and to convert them into useful items.
So, this is a plastic bottle greenhouse. As you can see, it is only made from the bottles. It is more affordable than the standard greenhouse because it is minimal cost. Now, what are the benefits of this plastic bottle greenhouse aside from its minimal cost? First, It holds the heat well and keeps the seedling warm because the sunlight is easily able to get through the bottles, and also because the temperature inside the bottle greenhouse will about 10 degrees Celsius higher than the weather from the outside. And that's the difference of the bottle greenhouse and certainly lengthen the growing season for many plants no matter the climate you live in. Second, it is self-watering. Why? Because during the rain, the flow of water is able to trickle into the gaps between the bottles. Next, the bottled greenhouse environment reduces the exposure to extreme weather conditions such as heavy or torrential rain and droughts. It also reduces the accessibility of animals that have the potential to destroy your plants. And lastly, these bottled greenhouses are used to grow your plants all year long, even in the winter season when it's too cold outside, because the plastic bottle is clear and the sunlight can get in and warm things up. And that's all for my part. May I call on Ma'am Jaishin to present to you the next example. Ma'am?
We know that using plastic bottles is a big help in our garden, like seedling protection. We can simply remove the label from a clear plastic bottle and cut the bottom off and pop it over your seedlings or young plants. A seedling or young plants are approached, or we know that they are more approached by pests and birds. And we know that if they are constantly losing their new leaves, they eventually die off. So by placing or using plastic bottles on the plants as barriers or protection, it will help to stop all pests from eating the plants and prevent the leaf damage from a variety of pests. It makes the pest more difficult to access young plants, and not only from pests, it can also protect the plants from winds blowing away by pushing them down into the soil. And lastly, the plastic bottles will allow the plants to grow stronger.
For making a scoop for gardening, take off the bottle's bottom using a craft knife. Next, cut an angled line up along one side, stopping just below the handle. The opposite side should follow suit. To remove the piece of plastic, make a cut across the top in between the two cuts on the sides. Make gardening shovels and scoops out of smaller and larger plastic bottles. This may be used to scoop, compost, and mulch, move dirt from the bag to your garden, and dig holes with handles on the bottle. This works better. You should end up with bottle that resembles a scoop that you may use in your garden.
So garden partitions will helps you define your gardens visually. So it's like yung mark na yon ang nagsasabi na sayo yung garden na yon. And by putting partitions will help you also to easily identify various vegetables na itinanim mo. Example is you only have small space for gardening. You only have small space for gardening. Tapos gusto mong magtanim ng iba't ibang klase ng gulay. So by using plastic bottles, it will help you make garden partitions. Yan, so yung garden partitions na yon or yung plastic bottles na yon, pwede mo siyang lagyan ng designs, kung ano yung gusto mong designs, and paint it with your preferred color. Yan, so may I call Ma'am Joanna to present to you what are the benefits and also the conclusion of our report.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Feby, for introducing me. So now I am going to discuss the conclusion of our activity proposal. So, utilizing a reusable water bottle has many advantages, one of which is a reduction in waste, which is the most harmful to the environment. You prevent the disposal of hundreds of plastic bottles in landfills and the oceans by incorporating a reusable water bottle into your daily routine, or simply by having a creative mind in reusing the used empty plastic bottles is a great way to help the environment reduce the plastic pollutions. And it can also help us in our personal life. So, reuse empty bottles conserves resources, reduces the waste stream, causes less pollution, and also it is better to reuse than making new products from the virgin materials. Kasi kung gagawa at gagawa na lang sila palagi, yung mga factory gagawa at gagawa na lang ng mga plastic bottles, then paano na lang yung ibang mga plastic bottles kung hindi naman natin gagamitin ulit? Which is, we all know that using plastics na nga, yung mga plastics na maninipis is ilang years bago matunaw or ma-dispose or ma-dissolve sa earth. Then, how much more if yung mga bottles na, which is mas makapal siyang klase ng plastics. So, in using it, makakagawa tayo ng, if we reuse it, makakagawa tayo ng mga gusto nating, yung gustong-gusto nating mga bagay na sana meron tayo sa ating simpleng garden. Pero hindi natin afford. Like yung mga cute na paso, yung mga plant partitions, yung hanging plant vases, especially yung greenhouse. Kasi napakamahal ng mga materials ngayon. But while helping our environment to heal, we're also getting the things we wanted. Basta wag lang tayong tatamad-tamad and be creative. So, as we see earlier, the presentation of my group mates, mga ka-major ko, na they shows some ways how to reuse the plastic bottles in a good way. Kumbaga, ayaw nating inumin kasi syempre may mga plastic bottles naman na napupulot lang natin kung saan-saan. So, pwede natin siyang gawing vase, ganyan, na boost pa yung pagiging creative natin. Kesa naman tapon na kung saan. Diba? Kasi hindi naman natin siya, yes, there are a lot of things na pwedeng gawin sa bottles. Pwede nating i-refill ng tubig, tapos inumin natin gaya ng mga nakagawian natin sa ating mga bahay. Pero, paano kung napulot lang natin? Are we going to drink on it? Diba? Hindi po. So, using it in our garden will help yung less pollution. We help to reduce the waste stream. Ika nga, that causes pollutions. So, I hope these benefits of reusable bottles will inspire you to keep using empty bottles when planning your garden. Yan. So, this perhaps will make easier for you to convince your loved ones to switch. Hindi yung bili na lang. And the advantage of using reusable bottles can have an influence on the entire planet. Sa mundo. Hindi yung dito lang sa Pilipinas, sa bahay natin, ganyan, kundi sa buong mundo. Malaking tulong na yun. Kahit hindi natin nararamdaman. Whether it's for the environmental preservation, sa health natin, savings, and convenience na rin. So, I hope this activity proposal will help all of us na mag-switch na lang kung may mga empty bottles tayo makita. Uy, maganda to for partition ng mga plants ko, ganyan. So, that's all. Thank you. Have a great day.